Okay, so the goal of today's video is to not cough a single time. I've been sick the last few days, and I usually record on Friday nights, but I'm recording on a Saturday night because I just felt like trash last night. But I am noticing on the internet and all the places that I like to watch book-related content that it's that time where people kind of talk about their monthly TBR. My monthly TBR would be really boring because I don't move through books very fast. So it would be pretty short. I don't have the time or the reading speed that some people do to be able to just bust through books super fast. And so I thought I would do kind of like a summer 2022 looking on kind of TBR. I thought that's how I would do it, because like I said, if I was going to talk about the books that I finished last month or the books that I anticipate finishing this month, probably wouldn't be very interesting because I don't move through books very fast. My job just demands a lot of time, and honestly, there are some nights that I just want to watch Netflix with my wife. Anyway, without further ado, here we go. I'm still 3 videos in a row, still reading Hunger of the Gods. I am past the halfway mark, trudging on towards the end, and I am loving it. And I'm just really taking my time with it. And if you watched my last video, you might know this, as soon as I finish Hunger of the Gods, I'll be picking up Royal Assassin and continuing into the rest of the Farseer trilogy. And I'm super stoked. I'm seeing a lot more conversation about these books popping up and a lot of people talking about them. And so I'm excited because I haven't gotten to be like actively a part of reading, these read-alongs that people are doing, even though I'm not really doing a read-along per se. But it's just cool to know that there's so many people online who are reading this series right now, and lots of different opinions and lots of people talking about them. Even though really there aren't that many different opinions, they're pretty much universally loved, which is really exciting. I'm excited to just dig further into Hobbs' world that she's built and find out what happens with Fitz after that ending, wow. Assassin's Apprentice, loved it. Next is a book that I have put off a little bit. I don't really know why. I've had it on my shelf for a long time, and at this point it kind of feels like a prerequisite for YouTube fantasy. Like, that's not why I want to read it. I'm genuinely interested in it. It's The Name of the Wind, Patrick Rothfuss. I love the idea of it. Kvothe sounds like a very interesting character, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But as soon as I finish the Farseer trilogy, hopefully, fingers crossed, I get enough time to read and finish 3 books in May. This might be like early June, something that I get to pick up, and I'm really excited for it. I love the idea of kind of a bard or a poet or whatever Kvothe is. I really literally know nothing about this book, and if you know me, my favorite way to go and see a movie is to not watch the trailer at all, go in completely unexpected. And I'm starting to really get that way with books too. As much as I love watching people talk about a series that I know nothing about and getting super excited for it, the thing that I love even more is diving into a series just on someone's recommendation, just off the rip of, hey, read this, you'll like it, and experiencing it with no preconceptions. And so that's kind of what I think The Name of the Wind is going to be for me. It's just something that I have a really good feeling that I'm going to love it. I really need to check that off of my I read fantasy and do YouTube videos checklist, but I'm excited for this. Up next is actually, I think it's the only non-fantasy thing on my list. My wife has been complaining that we don't have any books that we've read in common to talk about. And right now she's reading some Colleen Hoover, which, no shade to people who like Colleen Hoover. It's just not my thing. But she likes thrillers and mysteries and things, and so I've heard a lot of people say that The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson is really good. So yeah, she likes mysteries and thrillers and murder and death, and I like characters with names that are hard to pronounce. And so I think that this will be a good branch out of fantasy, so that I'm not only reading about magic and elves and you know, as Brandon Sanderson would say, that I could read about some boring people with boring problems. I think that this will just be something kind of fresh and kind of a palate cleanser and something different, but I'm excited for that. Plus, this cover has been sitting on our shelf for so long, and it's beautiful. She's probably gonna read this one. I'm probably gonna buy some paperback edition, but yeah, excited for this too, and to have a book to talk about with my wife. After all of that, I'm in a little bit of a bind because through all of this, I've been reading about 20 pages of Memories of Ice by Steven Erikson, like a week, or maybe not even that. So eventually, once I finish that, because as slow as I'm going through Hunger of the Gods, I'm going even slower through Malazan, which I feel no hurry to read through Malazan. I really like taking my time with this series and trying to understand Malazan. Oh my gosh. I need to be consistent. I need to have channel consistency with how I say Malazan. But as soon as I finish that, I'll be moving on to House of Chains. I think this is the next one. And then that's probably gonna be a lot of my summer. I know some people can just like snap through books, and I am so envious of those people. But I just can't do that. So going into summer, if for some reason I just fly through some books, I thought it would be cool, since there is a Mistborn Era 2, the final book is coming out this year, and I haven't ever read Mistborn Era 2, to read Mistborn Era 2. We have a pretty good used bookstore here where I live, and they had all 3 of these, and I got them for like, I think I literally got them for like $3. And I have a friend who really loves Era 2. I don't know if he loves it as much as Era 1. And honestly, I don't know that I will love it as much as the first Mistborn Era. Those books were just some of my favorite Sanderson, period. I thought it would be cool that since he has another book, the last book coming out, it would be fun to catch up with these and then read the new one when it comes out, because that's been kind of fun to do with Hunger of the Gods. And so I thought it would be fun to do that with the second era of Mistborn as well. That's pretty much what I'm anticipating reading. Now, the only way that might shift or change a little bit is that there are a few things that are on my wish list of books to just get my hands on. Really at the top of that would be Empire of Silence by Christopher Ruocchio. I am just like foaming at the mouth to get my hands on some Sun Eater. I have only waited this long because I was determined to get that first book in hardcover and own them all in hardcover. But they have skyrocketed in price on Amazon, and I just really can't find anywhere to buy them right now. And so I'm probably gonna wait and see if the price hike goes down. I don't know anything about publishing or how any of that stuff works. So hopefully if the prices on that go down, that would be fantastic. And I could get my hands on that, and I might slip Sun Eater and start that series in between whatever is in there as I see fit. And then also I kind of use the Earthsea books by Ursula K. Le Guin as like just chill out palate cleansers. That's actually part of what has taken so long with the Hunger of the Gods is I just felt like that my brain needed a break. My other idea for my video this week was like a reading slump video where I would just talk about like what I do whenever I get in a slump. I just felt like that I saw like 15 of those videos pop up on my recommended playlist, and I was like, well, I don't really want to make the exact same video, which is funny because I'm doing that right now with the TBR anyway. Sometimes I like to break up the pace of a bigger book with a smaller, easier to read book. So right now I'm reading The Farthest Shore also kind of at the same time as The Hunger of the Gods. I kind of have different like times a day, and since The Farthest Shore is so small, it kind of just goes with me everywhere, and I'll just like read a few pages as I'm sitting there. I would love to be able to finish Earthsea and justify to myself. I told myself whenever I finish all of I have the little books, I told myself I'm gonna buy that hardcover illustrated edition because it's just beautiful and I love looking at it. And then I think the only other sway in there is I have some friends who have never read Ender's Game, and one of my buddies is actually reading it right now. I might pick up Ender's Game towards like the middle or the end of the summer and start reading through that series with them, just because I read them a long time ago. Those and the Shadow, like the parallel series with Bean, and loved them. They were just great. So it might be fun to kind of pick those up and see if I still love them as much as I used to. And I would probably do videos about reading through that, but I don't know, we'll see. So what are you gonna be reading this month or this summer or the rest of this year? Or do you even know? Are you just like straight up a mood reader and you just, as you finish something, you pick something else up and you just go with the flow and you let life carry you that way? That's cool. I'm not like that. I kind of want to have an idea of where I'm going, but let me know what you're reading or going to read. And if you like this video, be sure to subscribe and give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next one.